be a map of the whole park system where people can see where all the parks are. There'll probably be like a QR code where people can, you know, I'm learning more with my cell phone about QR codes, but it'll take you to a link to learn more about that particular park. But we really want the Nature Center to serve not only as a place where people can learn about the natural world, but also discover ways that they can launch their next adventure in the parks, from fishing, high ropes course, taking a hike with the naturalists, checking out our beautiful night sky at Observatory Park. You name it, there's really something for everybody. And we really want people to, you know, ultimately the Nature Center is great, but our main goal is to get people encouraged to get out and explore their Geauga parks. Give you a few exhibit highlights. I want to say it's been a pleasure working with Dan McConaughey. I give him, you know, ideas. I give him rough sketches on, this is what I'm kind of thinking I want the room to look like, and then he makes it look really nice and pretty. He's really good at this stuff. This is all credit to Dan, but this gives you a rough layout of the room. I really like the openness of the building, and I really love the windows and the tall ceilings. So just want to bring kind of nature inside and encourage people to get out and explore it on their own, like I said. So we will be utilizing some current exhibits that we have, but we're going to be simplifying them and reformatting them a little bit. For example, our geology exhibit here, we're going to still be using this, just shrinking it down a little bit. We do a lot of geology programs for 3rd and 4th graders throughout the county. They come to the Nature Center. So we'll be reusing some things, making them simplifying them a little bit. Our fish aquariums, we'll be putting a new facade on that. Maybe utilizing old bird mobiles, all the existing tree structures, which are great. But so we want to try to reuse as much as we can, but make it updated. A few elements that we'll be having in the Nature Center. One thing that we'll have is a thing called the touch table. I'd like to see it like a custom made, maybe it'll be our construction crew, who knows, that'll make a really nice custom table that houses things that people, kids, adults pick up and touch. Bones, feathers, fur, things like that. This is really a staple at all those nature centers we visited. This is something we see. We also want to highlight Geauga's microscopic treasures. The theme of the exhibit, again, is Geauga's natural treasures. Microscopic things that you walk by and you miss. Dragonfly nymphs, little seeds, things like that. We'll have a scope, either a type of a scope that magnifies smaller things for people to check out as well. We'd like to have a large bookcase kind of display which will house drawers that people can pull out to look at various natural history items. This bookcase would also house seasonal displays, books, and things like that. Our live animal displays are currently in our discovery room, kind of tucked in the corner. And I think a lot of people miss that. So we want to move all of our live animals into the main exhibit room. Things like a black rat, or now it's called the central rat snake, they just changed the name on us. But gray tree frog, toad, we have a turtle, salamanders, things like that. So we want to get people to see these things more, and these are showcase displays that show people some live animals that they might find out in the parks. We'll also have traditional cube displays housing rotating things, from skull displays, bird nests, things like that. Really nice looking things that we change up, because we realize we want to encourage repeat visitors. We don't want this to be a one-time shot. We want people, families, to come back and check things out. So we want to keep things fresh and changing. We have live animal mounts. We have this large black bear, which is currently in the Nature Center. That'll be a part of it. But we have a good variety of mounts which have been donated from various organizations and acquired in other ways that we will have on display in the Nature Center. We have acquired 2 new trail cams in the past 2 years. One of our naturalists, Andy Abram, is currently taking videos out in the park, trail cam videos out in the parks, of things, you know, over Halloween we had pumpkins we put in the woods, and he filmed all the critters that came from, like coyote to deer, skunk, raccoon, possum, you name it. came to that. So we will have these trail cam videos up for people to check out things that are going on behind the scenes when a lot of times when we are sleeping, many animals are active. So we'll have that as well. We're going to have a little room that will be an offshoot of the main room, which will be constructed. It'll be all about the nocturnal treasures found in the park district. You know, the majority of Ohio's wildlife, a good percentage, I wouldn't say the majority, but a good percentage are nocturnal or active at nighttime. So this will be a dimly lit room, not dark, where we're going to have little kids afraid to go inside, but to suggest nighttime, where people can encounter some nocturnal animals they might find. Also, we're hoping to have some sort of night sky put on the ceiling as well. So that's pretty cool. And we will have a tree display with a tree cutout. I'm told we have a nice tree that we have a nice cutout for, so we'll probably utilize that. We want to highlight the massive, amazing trees that we have in the county. And look at our director right there. There he is. By the largest official beach in the county. It's at Metzenbaum Park. And tulip, oak trees. We have some giant trees. So we want, again, people to, our parks are protecting those sort of things too. So that's another thing. We'll have some leaf ID, I imagine, like in our hallway leading to our discovery room. Placards where people can lift up and learn more about leaf ID. Daniel will be working on, he's really great with native pollinator gardens and plantings. So we will be redoing the front of the Nature Center to have some more native pollinators. And we'll do programming, and we'll have probably some interpretive signs for how people can do this sort of thing at their own home. Birds in flight silhouettes in the lobby. What I really want to see is when people come into the Nature Center, they go, wow, this is a Nature Center. I want to check that out. Look at this. I think right now the Nature Center, the main lobby, kind of looks like a Nature Center, but I think there are things we can do to improve and freshen it up a little bit. So that's that. I also really want to get these are the trend. I just went to a conference this weekend, and they have these bird feeder cameras. These are cool. I think that would be really neat for people who maybe can't get out to the Nature Center. They can see what kind of birds are visiting our feeders. I also dream of a bald eagle camera on one of our accounts, so I'll talk to you about that later. But yeah, we'll talk to probably Ohio U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service about that as well. A couple more things. We'll have creature feature live animal displays. We do this currently, but we'd like to have a more permanent thing where we house things that we catch temporarily. We raise a lot of monarch butterflies, caterpillars. We might catch a toad or a tree frog temporarily to put on display for people to see for a week or so, and it changes up. Mammal pelts display, which we currently have. We just want to kind of freshen that one up. These are fun. I see these a lot at nature centers where kids can, Sandy, those kids look familiar right there. That's where was that? At the zoo?
I was at the Columbus Zoo.
Oh, Columbus Zoo. So maybe in the main exhibit room, we'll also be reformatting our discovery room. So we may have some of these bird silhouettes where kids can measure up to see how they measure up to a bald eagle or a sharp-shinned hawk, an osprey. I don't know who that guy is. Kind of different. Magnetic bulletin board displays. These are seasonal displays, our naturals. We are still currently, we change up our displays a good bit. But again, to keep things fresh, these will be displays. Likely they'll be magnetic, where you can just put things on and take them off easily. They may highlight seasonal occurrences in nature, or maybe potentially what's happening in natural resource management projects they might be working on as well. We have rich history in our county as well, and we preserve and protect that as well, like the Rookery over the park, the Rookery, the interurban railroad line ran right through there, and we talk a lot about that history. So we want to highlight that. This is a picture of a guy named Grover Gifford. That was in the 1949 Plain Dealer. He lived across the street from the West Woods, before it was the West Woods, and he was the first person to lead hikes to Ansell's Cave. And so we want to highlight some of those historic treasures that we have in the park as well. As I mentioned, we also want to update and freshen up our kids zone, which is our classroom. Again, we do a lot of school programs in there, especially geology. But when there's no classes in there, families can go in there. We want to have hands-on things, as we already do, but we want to add some new things, puppets, things like that, to keep things fresh and exciting for the kids. We have some amazing scenic wonders too, so I think Daniel had the idea of some of the walls of the exhibit room and throughout the Nature Center may have just beautiful views that we found in the parks. And I'm a big fan of quotes, so I can imagine having, not all quotes across all the walls, but there may be a quote like, one of my favorite quotes from one of my idols, John Muir, who was one of the founders of the National Park Service, considered one of the fathers of the National Park Service. He said, when you try to pick out anything by itself, you find it hitched to everything else in the universe. So famous nature quotes would be nice as well. So we will also be supplementing, we'll be doing lots of programs that will be connected with the exhibits and interpretive signage along the trails as well. So those are just some general ideas, but our main goal, who's that? Look at that.
You snuck that in there.
Yep. I took that picture of Christine just last week. We did a little bird walk here for the staff, and that's a big oak tree right up the trail. But our goal, again, is to get people to awaken their enthusiasm for the natural world, because we feel like a lot of people don't realize what a gift we have in Geauga County and what really special things we protect. And I think the more people know about the natural world, the more they are likely to want to then protect it and support our parks. So that's all I have for you, just a little nutshell. But if you have any questions, I'm here, and thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Any questions for John? All right. That capital improvement is planned to get started next year, correct? The 27. Okay. So working through the process. Just want to congratulate John and his staff. Just finished at the end of the school year, graduating every 5th grade class in Geauga County schools through the Nature Scopes program. So I mentioned that, there's a definitive correlation between nature programming, nature centers, and how we impact our residents. So we're in every 5th grade class. How many years running now, John, for Nature Scopes?
22.
22. So
yeah.
Our teachers seek out our naturalists to supplement their ecology, their biology, their earth science, their natural science program. So it's a privilege to be in our schools and be impacting every 5th grade class for the last 22 years. So thank you, John, for that great presentation.
Yeah,
all
no problem.
Ms. Lamarca, welcome to the board. We will get you out on park tours, including our one and our only, the West Coast Nature Centers, our only teacher centers. Although we just get it for some park tours. A few other things for commissioners, Tom. In its 30th year, Geauga Park District's annual nature writing contest attracted 230 poetry and prose writers of all ages and resulted in 28 winners now published to our website under news and updates. Congratulations to all the talented winners. So we thank them for entering. From the Naturalist Department, volunteer coordinator Andy Abram planned and hosted our annual volunteer brunch at Veterans Legacy Woods on April 12th, which was attended by 83 dedicated and appreciated volunteers. I too had the privilege of attending, and it's always good to see our dedicated volunteers and interact with them. Also from the Naturalist Department, they held 139 programs during the month of April with a total attendance of 2,881, and the Westwoods Nature Center had an attendance of 1,992 patrons in the month of April. So thank you, Sandy, for those updates. Really quick, we're going to put our staff on the spot and have you stand and introduce yourself to new Commissioner Sally Lamarca. So welcome, Sally, to the board. We'll start with Christine. Just your stand and your name and your title, please.
I am Christine Sizik. I'm the HR manager.
Christine.
I'm Lucas Beamer. I'm the IT manager.
Dennis?
Sandy Ward, marketing coordinator.
Dennis Sloan, Chief Ranger.
Paul Pura, biologist.
All right, thank you. And hi, Bridie. Bridie Matheny is here. Bridie is our legal counsel with Thrasher, Dinsmore, Dolan, and also her colleague, Todd Hicks, is our lead legal counsel. So Todd was able to be here today, so thank you, Bridie, for being here. All right, thank you, staff. With that, anything from the commissioners for commissioners' time? Jessica. And Jessica Albers, Administrative Assistant and Secretary of the Department Board. Can't think of anything else. I have nothing for executive session. Anything from commissioners? Okay. Not, the announcement of the next board meeting is Monday, June 16th at 8:30 a.m. at this location. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Got it.
Okay, thank you. Call the vote, Mr. Bates? Mr. Reno?
Yes.
Mr. Logano? Yep. Yes, no? Want to adjourn?
Want to adjourn? I say yes.
Ms. Lamarca?
Yes.
And Mr. Stein? Okay, thank you. Thanks, everyone. Yes.